Hey coaches, it's Kelly here. I'm actually going to bring you a special presentation tonight of it's actually a reteaching of some training that I received today and that I'm going for the next 4 weeks. It's from a group that I'll be in. And it's called the group, and the material is called The Art of Recruiting, and it's by done by a guy who is a John Maxwell trainer, and he trains business people and leaders and lots of Beachbody coaches, about 30 one-on-one things he does with Beachbody coaches right now, mentoring. And he teaches them how to become better leaders and to up their game. So he's very well acquainted with Beachbody, the way we do things, coaching, the whole coach network. He's done workouts, that sort of thing. His name's Josh Coates, and he is the author of this material. So I am in no way trying to rip his stuff off, but rather apply the John Maxwell principle, which is to try to every day, act on, change something, and then teach something that you've learned. Okay, so based on what you're learning in your personal development. All right, so the art of recruiting, and I'm going to give you the material from day one today, and it's going to be kind of a whirlwind time. It's going to be a real wild ride, so buckle your seatbelts and let's go. Get your pen and paper out and take some notes, and I think you're going to have a lot of things to apply today. All right, here we go. So this group, the point of this group is this. It's called The Art of Recruiting for a reason. And it's all about trying to take coaches, specifically coaches who are quote-unquote stuck at Diamond, looking to advance, and maybe even people are in and out of Diamond through, their Emerald Diamond kind of thing, because they are having a hard time recruiting people who want to build a business. But this is going to be applicable to every single coach. So if you're 2-star Diamond listening to this, if your Perry's in the group and I don't even know how many stars he is now. I'm a 1-star lifetime, and a lot of you guys are Emeralds and some are Diamonds. Okay, so it doesn't really matter about rank. It matters about mindset, and it matters about going forward, how to apply these principles in order to bring in people into your group, into your organization who want to build and have the confidence and the mindset and the skills to build on their business, and so that you have a strong team. All right, so the parameters of the group is this. He's going to try to teach us through these principles. He is going to teach us how to exponentially grow our business building of our coaches over the course of a month. Okay, so he's saying, hey, he can't guarantee anything, but he's thinking like you exponentially, so double the number of coaches that you're recruiting who are actually going to build a business. Okay, could be more, could be less. All right, doesn't really matter in the sense that, but it's a huge growth beyond what would be a normal addition of coaches. Okay, all right. Josh, over all the times that he's been mentored tons of coaches. In fact, he mentored one of our coaches, number 10, I can't remember her name, doesn't matter really. He's currently mentoring 30 coaches one-on-one. Okay, he has mentored hundreds of people through these groups and talked to probably hundreds more. What he's asked some of these top coaches, what they think are top challenges or problems that coaches have when it comes to becoming like a Rockstar recruiter. Like what are the challenges that you face? What are the problems? Here's what they said. Number 1, I don't have anyone who wants to work the business. Wrong. Josh says wrong. He says, if you say that and feel that, it's because you don't have enough people in general that you're talking to that you've signed to work the business. Not business builders, particularly. That will come. But you're not talking to enough people. You're not signing enough people. You're not bringing enough people into your organization. Okay? Because the tendency is this to say, all these, rotten people that I've signed, they're not doing anything. They're lazy. They don't want to work the business. Well, nobody started out coaching unless they specifically told you that they just want to sit there with their discount. Most people start out with the high hopes of becoming a builder, and maybe they really got in over their head. Who knows? There's a million things that could have happened. The point is that people aren't trying to piss you off. They're not trying to trip you up. So what you need to do is you need to take full responsibility for how you're doing in your own business. Your success or failure is about you. Okay? It's about me, right? It's not about anybody else, right? If we can get that straight, he says the whole basis for the training is this. We have to take responsibility for our own growth and our own success or failure. Okay, that is where it kind of rises and falls, because then you can say, how do I move through this? How do I get better? How do I find other people? How do I draw people to myself that are going to be ready, versus getting stuck in blaming people, even yourself? It's not really that helpful to blame yourself, because frankly, then you get stuck and it's all self-pitying and it's not very productive. Okay, so we rise and fall on our own success or failure. And he says, look, if you feel like you're not bringing in coaches who are business builders, or the people you bring in kind of want one, they die off, it's because you don't have momentum or energy. You don't have it yet, or you've lost it. Okay, and here's the thing that's kind of interesting. It's hard to have momentum when you feel like you're sending people who don't want to do stuff, right? It's this sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. It's like cat chasing its tail or dog chasing its tail, whatever that metaphor is, okay? But here's the thing. Really, momentum is about mindset and attitude and going out there and saying, all right, I can have that posture with people. I can have that, like, people are excited about wanting to come alongside me and be, what are you doing? Even if you don't have 100,000 coaches, you don't it's not about the numbers. It's about the energy. And it's about the atmosphere of the team and of your calls and of how you do business. Okay. That's something you can control. Okay. And you really only control that through personal development, to be honest, and actively asking and talking to people and getting out there and trying and growing and failing and falling down and picking yourself up and keeping on going and resolving not to quit. Okay. That's how you change that. So this is a no self-pity zone. It doesn't even help to blame yourself because it's counterproductive. What we're going to get out there is we're going to grow and we're going to try and we're going to fail and we're going to keep going again. Okay. The next thing that people say, that some of these top coaches say is very common for coaches to say is, I'm not successful yet, so how can I expect to, with integrity, sign coaches on my team who are going to be successful because I don't even know what I'm doing? Okay. Well, the first thing is this. One is we work in teams and you don't have to always know what you're doing because there's going to be somebody around who does, like me or Perry or whoever, okay? And even so, work in teams and you don't have to know everything, and you can always say, hey, well, we suggest that you talk to a 5-star diamond coach who doesn't know what they're talking about, okay? So there is integrity there. It's not a bunch of BS, okay? But the other thing is this. Everybody does have something to offer. Everybody does have some way that they can lead, because all of us here have been coaches for more than like 15 minutes. I mean, if you're watching this, I'm sure you've been coached like a day, okay? Which means that you've probably had some success with our fitness programs. You've drunk Shakeology and you know how wonderful it is. You have committed. You've decided to coach. You've committed to it. You put your money down for a challenge pack, whatever, right? Like you're a lot further along than Joe Schmo back there who's on the couch rubbing his big belly, okay? That's truly. And maybe even just on the fitness side of it, but even other stuff with mindset, you've already decided that you want to do this and you've postured yourself to become a coach. That's great, okay? You have something to offer. So get out of that habit, if that's you, you're saying those things, that you don't have anything to offer, that you can't lead, because that's not true. That's a big lie. Okay, another thing about this. Some brand new coaches think this. They think, well, okay, I'm going to let this other person who's really knowledgeable and skilled and everything, I'm going to let them take over. I don't have anything to offer. I'm going to sit in the corner and I'm just going to soak all of this in for like 2 or 3 years or something, or even months, whatever. That's not how leadership works. That's not how you build your leadership muscle, okay, and your abilities. How you do that is you get out there and try stuff. Now, are you going to have to try to leap across the Grand Canyon metaphorically in terms of your leadership? Of course not. We're just saying one baby step a day, maybe, okay? Like a little baby walking, crawling, walking, okay? And that is, practically speaking, this. What you're learning in your personal development, what you're learning, you put it out there to your people. You put it out there on social media, right? You pass it on in the team call. You go on the hangout and say, hey, I learned something from my personal development, whatever. Like you call up your new coach and say, can we get together to do some training? I'm going to learn it too. It doesn't have to be this mind-blowing, quantum leaps of stuff, of leadership. It has to be steps though. Okay, that's how it works. If you wait around for months or years and you metaphorically emerge from the cave after you've done all this reading about leadership and I'm going to become a leader, trust me, I'm going to tell you truthfully, no one will be there. They'll be moved on. Either they've quit or they moved on to somebody else who could help them right away. Okay, so this whole thing moves quickly and you can't get left behind by sitting around waiting, okay, till you feel like you can do this. Now, speaking of feelings, another thing that leaders do, and the top coaches say they've worked through this somehow, through trial and error and pain and sorrow and tears, is they lead, and they decided to lead, and they took steps to lead in the face of, in the presence of, not in the absence of, and in spite of their fears and insecurities. Let me repeat that. Leaders do not wait around, put it another way, until they feel great, until they don't have any fear, until they feel wonderful about everything and totally confident, like they're going to crush it today. Leaders lead when they're afraid. That's what courage is, guys. Leadership is that you move forward and you say, I'm scared, I'm going to talk to somebody about it for a couple minutes and then I got to do this, okay? That's what leadership does. That's what you need to do, okay? You need to get it out of your mind. It's a total fantasy, crazy something, If you think that somehow everybody who leads on this team isn't afraid of stuff, I'm not afraid right now, but I have been in the past to get on a call. And there are things that I'm afraid to do in my business, okay? And I can be honest about that, but I'm not going to live there. I'm not going to sit there and not do stuff. I'm regularly trying to figure out what are some things that I'm not doing because of my fears, and I got to get around that, you guys. And you do too. All you need to do is be willing to teach the thing that you just learned to some way, shape, or form. You're going to act on that. You might need to change some things around to make sure that you, okay? And you need to teach it to somebody on the team, in your organization. That's all you need to do is try. You're going to fail. Of course you are. It's like riding a bike. You didn't ride a bike perfectly the first time. I mean, if you did that, then you'd be like some sort of freak of nature, okay? Everybody falls down and has to have those crazy little training wheels on their bike or fall down a million times, okay? But we kept going because we wanted to learn how to ride a bike, and nobody said, oh, you really suck at this. I think you should never ride a bike. I think you should walk your whole life. No, that's not how it works, okay? That's nuts. It's okay to fail. Of course, we want to have, our failures sometimes not be the hugest they could be, and we certainly don't want them to go on for years. It's like you got to eventually going to ride the bike, okay? But it's okay to fail, okay? You got to try. One more thing before I move on really quickly to, because I'm trying to keep this to 20 minutes or less, and I'm about 14 minutes into it, okay? Is something that you need to remember, and I think, put this somewhere in your journal, like I've got a journal here that I'm looking at, on your mirror or something. Remind yourself why you started to do this. In one way, shape, or form, you decided to coach because you wanted to help people. Now, if you didn't, then you could be a discount coach, but you won't be watching this video if you're a discount coach, because why would you? That's weird. I mean, you're wasting your time watching this. It's only posted, for heaven's sakes, on our team wall, okay? So I know that you want to help people. I know that you signed up to help people, but you have to remember that every single day, you guys. You need to get up and tell yourself, okay, I'm here to help. This is my mission. We're going to talk about mission statement in a minute. I'm here to help people, and I've got to do that, okay? This is not primarily a sales company in the sense of we're selling widgets. Beachbody is more than capable, trust me, of selling millions of units of our products online, and they could have them in Target and Walmart tomorrow. In fact, they did in Canada for years with P90X before our coaching came to Canada, okay? They don't need somebody selling widgets, okay? They need coaches who care about people, want to help the people in their lives, first their friends and relatives, and then their social media network, okay, people in their brand. They want us to come alongside and coach those people and build a whole ministry, a dynasty, if you will, of people who are becoming healthy and fit and changing their lives. Oftentimes their businesses do, their financial lives, okay? That's what this whole coaching network is about. So you have got to remember that. If you don't want to help people and somehow you got into this crazy group, and I don't know how in the world that would have happened, it's totally okay to hit the door. Nobody convinced you to help people. Nobody can convince you to do that. All right, that's totally fine. We love you, but this is not the place for you, okay? So we need to decide if we're going to do that or not, and then we're going to get around the fear, the blocks that are blocking us, and I've been doing this for a while and I can't, and I'm struggling and nobody wants to talk to me, and for some reason, there are reasons. If people are not wanting to talk to you, trust me, I'm going to tell you honestly right now, we're going to get into that later in this group, there are reasons why people don't want to talk to you. Maybe you're negative and don't know it, you're whiny and don't know it, you're begging people and you're asking questions when you should be telling things. I don't know, okay? You're argumentative, I don't know. There could be a million things, and I'm not even going to go there right now with you, but I want you to table that if you start thinking about that. There are reasons for this. It's not some sort of mystery like, I have this special blessing. No, I don't. I'm just like everybody else, and so is Perry, and we've struggled, okay? But we decided that we're going to do this, and we don't quit. And I know that Becky's the same way, and several other people. We get up every morning with hope that we're going to, and we go to bed every night with a plan about what we're going to do the next day, and over and over and over again. Okay, that's how it works. Now, I would like to talk really quickly, because again, we have like 3 minutes because I kept myself to that. Really quickly on the basics. This is what Josh said is like the basics of what a recruiter does. He says, I know a lot of you are already doing this because some of you are diamond coaches and beyond, but I have to set the parameters of this group so we all know what we're talking about. To be a big time recruiter, you have to do this. You have to know your mission. What is the difference that you want to make in the world? All of us have a little bit of a different play on that. Some of us were chain smokers, and we're like, oh my goodness, there's so many unhealthy people that smoke, and it's a horrible addiction. It truly is, right? Others are like, my father died of heart disease. That's actually part of my why, my mission. And so I want to help people avoid that. Others have we struggle with something. I don't know, whatever it is, other issues. They see hurting people out there. Another thing for me is that I'm a mission driven person. Like I have got to have purpose in what I'm doing, or I like to completely just start pulling my hair out, rending my garments. I can't just do the job for years and years and years and years with the idea that someday I'm going to go retire. That to me is just death. Okay. Other people are great that way. They can continually defer. I need to have meaning in my life every day or freak out. Okay. So that my mission is driven to minister to people, has ever since I was a little baby girl. I've been like that. Okay. So I know what my mission is. And I would say to you, even if it's not some big brand right now, tonight or tomorrow morning, get up and think, what is it that I'm really wanting to do with my life here? I mean, it doesn't have to be even specific, like with somebody like a brand or a niche or something. Like, why is it that I have a burning desire to do this? Because I know that you do, or you would have quit by now, most of you. Okay. So I would like you to write that down. Now, the really, really cool thing about when we operate out of mission, or our why, but it's that mission for life, is this. It helps us remain genuine. Haven't you heard, or maybe you've even said yourself, I don't want to be one of those gross, icky salespeople when I become a coach. You know, I was doing great as I was doing the workouts, and now I don't want to be this icky, selling stuff, you know. The difference between being that icky salesperson and being somebody who is just magnanimous and people are drawn to you and they're like, wow, I never get tired of your posts, even though it seems like every day you're posting about working out, which you probably are at least one today, right? Because they're drawn to you, they're looking at your recipes, they're doing all that stuff because you're real, you're genuine, and you're truly ministering and operating and living out of this mission of your life, guys, rather than it's just like BS. Wah, wah, this is just continually ploy to get some, make money. They're always inviting me, always all this stuff. Join me, buy a challenge bag, all this. It's like wah, wah. That is kind of that wah, wah, wah in your ear, unless there's that, oh my goodness, this person is also offering content. They're also sharing their life. They're different. There's a difference between what they're doing out of their mission of their life and just trying to sell crap. Okay. That is just about them making money. It isn't even about me being helped or whatever. There's a world of difference there. So we got to operate out of mission. Now, it helps us be genuine. It also helps us stave off burnout. I will personally attest to this. When you don't operate at a mission, when you lose sight of why you're doing this, when you're not constantly being reinvigorated with new ways to, encourage yourself in that desire, in that mission, and how you're working that out through personal development, okay? And washing your brain with truth and all that stuff, you will get burned out. You'll work and work and work and work. Pretty soon you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I feel like I'm begging people to do stuff they don't want to do. I just need a break. I just can't handle this. I just need, then you jump from one vacation to the next. And that's not why we signed up to coach, okay? You will get burned out if you're making sacrifices for this business and you forgot what the mission of the business is that drives the business. Enough said about that mission. Now, we're totally into 21 minutes, so keep your seatbelts buckled and put your hands on the wheel, because here we go. I'm going to hit the gas pedal. The next thing is, the second thing that you need to do, that everybody in this group is going to do, and I want you to do too, is tell your story, tell it often, and tell it well. Okay? Some of us are fantastic about it. Lois, if you're watching, you're really, really good about landing, first of all, your mission, your values to people on your Monday posts, and sharing your life and your kids, and that you're fantastic about that. You're like a great storyteller. Okay, so I want to say kudos to that. Others are as well. Becky's also really fantastic about this, and now I've started naming names, and some of you are going to be left out. But okay, just name 2 people, and others are great too. Here's the thing about how when you share your story often and well, it connects people to you. That's what it does. Okay, it doesn't brag and show off and turn people off. The people who are going to be turned off weren't really supposed to be following you anyway. Okay, it might even be your grandma, I don't know. But they're not your people, they're followers in terms of social media we're talking, okay? So when you connect with people and share your story, it's not all rainbows and wonderful Instagram posts that everything looks live, everything's a perfect, filter, and every single meal looks like orgasmically awesome or something, okay? But it's real. There has to be some realness and struggle. We don't now fall into self-pity and people are like, oh my gosh, is she going to kill herself? Like, holy cow. We don't, those 2 extremes of like crazy puppy dog rainbow land and whoa, this person's like on death's door or something. We have to be real, and there's ebbs and flows, but life is like that, right? And there is that sort of strain, that thread of hope that is driving us to do what we're doing, and it's going to be attracting people to us. Be real, tell your story, often and well, and we're going to have to learn more about how to do that. And we're going to learn in the group. I'm going to share that with you when I learn more about it. Okay. When you share with your heart about your mission, you're not just selling things. People will flock to you, the right people, your niche, and it'll just become natural. And you're going to have to work on your niche probably, and I have to. But, we're not like the movie stars on Twitter where people are just following us and like wanting to gawk at us. Like, we're not Kim Kardashian, okay? Like, that's not what we need, That's not going to draw people to us for us to help them with Beachbody. And it's really not the kind of relationships that we want anyway, right? Okay? So people want to see us just making it through the hard stuff, even just one step ahead of them. That is compelling. That is hope-filled. That is what people want to see, truly, okay? They want to be around people like that, okay? All right, number 3, be intentional with hitting Success Club. I know this is a really hard point, okay? I'm going to let that settle for a second, and I know a lot of you are working on it hardcore, but we need to continually working on ways that we can make Success Club. That is one of the bases of the leadership ladder, one of the main categories. It's not the only category, but as we'll have a new infusion of people to help. New stories. This is all about stories. This is completely a narrative-driven business. Look how your life is. But there's all about the stories, okay? Our stories, other people's stories of success and struggle, and we're going to make it, and we're all going to go together, okay? Got to find a way. Some of us in this group, we totally get it. It is not easy all the time. I do not have hundreds of people coursing into my business, and I just sit back and woo. I'm hoping to get to that point. I got to work hard for every single Success Club point I get, and I know that Perry does, and I know Becky does, and I know other people who are doing it do, okay? People, I talked to one of the coaches who I know who's watching this today, who said she's willing to talk to 100 people this month to get Success Club 10. Oh my gosh, I might even just drive to her house and deliver her like gift card to Amazon or whatever, because that's crazy. That is awesome. That is what it often will take, okay? Especially with the 10-to-1 principle. Anyway, okay, so it's hard. Make Success Club. Now, within that, challenge pack sales. This is another thing that Josh did, and I totally agree with this. Offer people every single time to the 25% coach discount membership. Going forward, you can save 25%, even if maybe you would want to do this as a business and help people later. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to sit on this wonderful discount, and here's your price today for your challenge pack is just the same as a coach sign up as it is for a customer, but going forward, you would save 25%. Would you like to hear more about that? Okay, boom. And then discount coaches often do become, and in fact, the top 10 coach that Josh worked with, she went from way down in the rank. She was a discount coach. She didn't want to do anything at first. Okay. Oftentimes it can be pulled in because it's very contagious. All right. We're cruising on here. The very, very last big point of what Josh says to do, and this totally cracked me up. So I'll try to slow down a little bit. He said this, in terms of social media, people, you need to be as arrogant as a rock star and as humble as a homeless person. As arrogant as a rock star on the one hand, and as humble as a homeless person. And what does he mean by that? What do I mean? I'm going to tell you is this. Rock stars give you all kinds of content that most people would be like, really? I mean, who cares about picture with your dog? I mean, of course I have pictures with Henry all the time, but here I am in the restroom at the Hard Rock Cafe. It's like, really? But, people, they just assume people love my content and they want to hear when I burp and all of my political rants on Twitter. Of course, please don't do political rants, but you know what I'm saying? They get into all kinds of areas of life that really don't have to do with their being a star of XYZ movie, because people just they can't get enough of them. You have got to put your content out there. A lot of us are like, are you kidding? People really don't want to see ugly me post-workout, but it's about a story. It's about writing a story. It's about pictures of a story about your life, and people who are attracted to you because something in you connects with them, they will want to know. I just had somebody today say, well, what kind of meal plan are you doing for, we're talking about a challenge group. I follow all of your food pictures. And I'm like, you do? I mean, this is like my mom's friend. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah. I'm thinking, well, don't try to make a meal plan out of my pictures, because that's totally not in the containers all the time. I mean, just some random days, like who knows what she would have, all fruit one day. I don't know. But does that make sense? I was shocked. So I am just with her. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just going, you throw stuff out there. People who get offended, people who think, wah, this is so, they were never meant to be in your tribe anyway. It's okay. And that might be your mom. It might be your grandma. Not that you don't have relationship with them, but in terms of social media, broadcasting, Those who want to go away, they'll just block you or unfriend you or unfollow or whatever. That's okay. Buck up, Buttercup. It's going to be okay. You don't build your business on your mom and her friends or your Uncle Joe. Okay? You really don't. You build we want them to get fit and healthy, and we start with our family and friends, but truly we develop our business when we have like a tribe of people who are like us and understand us and we them. Okay? Excuse me. So that's the Rockstar part. The homeless part is just, be humble with people. We don't need to blast and constantly tell, we do have knowledge about what we want and what our workouts do and what they should probably want to do, but we can be humble with people. We don't have to be this jerk, we could just be gentle with people and to know that we're just a little bit further along in this process than they were. Okay. So we don't have to be, this totally in your face person all the time. Okay. So sorry. Homework today was post 4 times every day. 4 times on social media. He begged us to get Instagram if we don't have it, which I love because sometimes I'm not so great on my Instagram. 1 post is about health and fitness. 1. Okay. 1 is about motivation, like a quote or a picture or something. Can be you, or it can be like a meme. 2 are lifestyle, like here I am with Henry, or for Josh, he had a baby and she's with the baby and he's like, oh, I'm so tired, whatever, taking her to lunch or, something. And then he said, it is really, really great to do themes, Transformation Tuesday, Throwback Thursday, and have it be you also. And I'm totally running out of time and going over, so please keep buckled up, and I'm almost done, and we'll slam on the brakes here. On Sunday nights, because so many people are not wanting to go back to work on Monday, and are so hopeless about their job, do a join my team coach opportunity, some sort of let's do this, make a difference in our lives change kind of a post. Okay. And it should have a professional headshot of you if you have one, or some sort of professional looking profile picture, not rather than you with your abs or whatever, because the focus is on them, helping them make a difference in their lives going forward with the coaching opportunity. And with that, unbuckle your seatbelts. We are done. I'm out of here, and I will talk to you soon. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.